Assalamu alaikum and good evening, dear students. As per promise that many of you have told me that you have problem regarding chapter 5, which is programming language. So today I want to go for a very short review. Today this is actually not a lecture. Basically what I'm going to do, the previous year's questions, okay, we will be solving that what kind of question from this chapter, particularly from this programming language chapter, appears in the exam and how to deal with those questions. Okay, so let's see. I have a test paper along with me and with the answer as well. You can see that there is a question stem. That is, Mr. X joined in his service at 1st December 2018. They built such a network that data may be transmitted as the speed of light in that organization. The service of Mr. X is being contractual, that is why he has to go to office in every 4 days. So now the questions from this stem. The very first question, number A, that is for 1 marks, that is what is data communication. The number B, why the following variables are not correct. A, B, C, main, int means integer, as you all know, and then 2 A, B, C. Okay, then question number C, explain the medium of data communication system. And then number D is write a program for Mr. X to find out the days of first month using C language. Okay, usually for the CQ question, the first questions are like this: definition of data communication. So what is the definition of data communication? The process of transferring data. That is the main keyword, that by which process we can transfer data. For any kind of definition, remember two things are very important. One is the keyword. When you are defining something, what should be the keyword for that particular definition? That is the most important thing. Then the second thing is how to describe this keyword or just organize this keyword in the proper meaning. So this is the way of definition. So every time when you don't need to memorize every definition by heart. What you can do, you can just capture the keywords so that you can go by this. So definition, this is actually my point about definition. Then the variables, AB, which kind of variables it is? AB, these are actually character type. If you know about the data type, there are many type of data. There can be numericals. Numericals means numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, any kind of number. Integer, then maybe fraction. Those numbers are actually numericals. And on the other hand, this A, B, C, D, these are character type. All right. Okay. Then main. The variable is main a variable? No, main is not a variable. It's a function or method for programming language. If you have go through the C programming, there are actually mainly 4 things. First one is variable. Second one is our main methods. Methods are main thing. Then a constructor. I think you haven't learned about constructor earlier. And variables are actually data type. So there is the answer. An integer. What is an integer? Integers are those numbers which don't have any fraction. There are 2 type of integers. One is positive integer, another is negative integer. 1, 2, 3, 4 means plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. These are positive integer, but whenever it will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, this is negative integer. Integers can never be fraction. Like if I say 2.5, here the integer portion is 2. 0.5 is fraction, so this is not integer. 0.5 is not integer. Integers are basically the whole numbers. Those are called integers. Okay, then 2ABC. So can it be a variable? No, it cannot be a variable, because in the beginning we can see there is a numerical or an integer. So variables should be with names. Variables are those which we can change. So if we are using a number actually have a value. those things which have a value, we cannot call them variables. So basically our question number 2 was about, you have to identify what type of thing these are. What is ABC? What is main? Main is a function. Integer means you understand that whole numbers. And 2AB, this is definitely not a variable. So which can be variable and which cannot be variable. ABC, can it be variable? Of course it can be variable, because I can put any type of value in ABC or ABC separately. The value is changeable. But integer can be a variable. As integer is a type, is a data type. It cannot be a variable. And 2ABC, no, since there is a value in front of 2, it cannot be a variable as well. Main, yes, you can use it as a variable. So this was the question. So whenever you are dealing a CQ question, what you have to do, you have to understand what you have asked for, then go for answering. Otherwise, you might not answer it properly. Always try to answer to the point. Okay, that is very important. Okay, the fourth question is, write down a program for Mr. X to find out the days of first month using C language. Okay, so what they're asking for, it's a very simple program. Since it's December, we know that December have how many days? 31 days, right? And you can see this program, the answer you can see. So the 4th day, there was a condition on the particular question stem that on his service, if every 4th day he has to go to the office. So if he started from day 1, every time the next office day will be after 1 plus 4. This way this loop will increase. Okay. For the loops, I think you might have confusion about the looping thing, that looping, how this looping is actually working. Let me show you how this looping works. Okay. Whenever you will write a code, before writing a C program or any kind of program, try to write the flowchart for it first, because flowchart is actually your blueprint. And when your flowchart is correct, you can automatically write the code. So before writing the code, don't just go and jump on writing the code. Just first draw the flowchart for this particular code. Okay. So for this particular program, let's see how this program, we have to start everything. We have to give our computer command that we are starting this program. Otherwise computer won't start anything. It will stuck the way it is. You should have to give the input. Start is actually the input command. Okay, so after starting the program, what we have to do, we will declare an integer, and we will put the value on it. So this particular box, you all know that this box is for putting value or any kind of processing. We use this box. So we will put a value of A is here 1. Okay, then this diamond shape, this is the conditional box of flowchart. So for conditional boxes have actually Boolean type of result. Boolean means 0 or 1, false or true. This is actually Boolean type of logic. Okay, like if something is yes means true. I mean, whatever condition I will write in this particular box, if this condition is correct, then we will follow the line of yes, and if it's not correct, then we will follow the line of no, or true or false. You can also express, instead of yes you can use true, and for no you can use false. Okay, so let's go on this. So what will be the condition? How many days we have? 31 days at December. Month of December have actually 31 days. So unless this A less than equal to 31, this loop is going to run. So now let's move on to the next line. If this condition is satisfied, I mean if this is yes, then what will happen? And if this is no, then what will happen? If this is yes, then we will go and immediately move on a process. That is, since it's the first day, so let's get a process here. Loop increment. This is the portion of loop increment here. A plus 4. Can you see it? A plus 4, because every 4th day he is actually joining the he is actually doing the office. So what will be the result next? Next, we have to print it. This is our output box. This is a little bit curved. It is not like the process. Okay, the box shape is very important. If you make a mistake on the box shape, it will totally change the meaning of your work. So here, what we will do, we'll print. What we will print? We will print the value of A. Yes, A is a office day for that person, A. Okay, then this loop is going to continue again and moving on to this line again. This is called looping. From this line, I'm moving to this line. This is now in a loop. And when it will be no, the condition will be satisfied, then we can easily stop the program. Okay, so this is our flowchart for this particular code. So now let's see how this flowchart work. Okay, let's see how this flowchart work. Previously A value is 1, then we will move on to this line by following this arrow. So what is it now? A is less than equal to 31 or not. A, what is the value of A now? 1. Is 1 less than equal to 31? Of course, yes. So now what will happen? 1 plus 4. Now this is the 5th day. So 5th day will be print. Yes, 5th day is now value of A has been changed. Okay, this is called variable. The value is varying according to the time, according to the condition. The value is changing. Previously the value was 1. In this particular line the value became 5. It's no more 1. So the 5th day is office day. So print 5. Since the value is 5 now, print here. Then following this arrow, go on to this line again. Is 5 less than equal to 31? Of course, yes, it's less than. And then again this line. Now 5 plus 4, it became 9. Again 9. 9, it will be printed automatically. 9th day he is going to join the office. 9th day is also his office day. Then again move on to this line. Is 9 less than 31? Of course, 9 is less than 31. Again it will go to this line, and 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13th day will be printed. Yes, day 13 he has to go to the office. Then again it will follow this line. Is 13 less than equal to 31? Yes, it is. Then it will again move on to this line, and now 13 will become 13 plus 4, which is 17. So it will print 17 now. Then again it will go for a check by following this line. This is called looping. Continuously this loop will be continued unless this value of A reach 31. Whenever this value will be more than 31, even it's equal to 31, that is also okay. But if it's more than 31, whenever this value will become 32, then the program will say no, it won't go to this loop again. It will just get out and stop this program. So is this concept clear now? The looping concept. This is the most confusing thing, but the easiest thing and the prime thing of any program. Okay, so this goes looping. When you are done with this loop, when you understand this flow chart, then you can just easily convert this flow chart into a code. So what is our code rule for C programming? Include stdio.h. We will include the stdio, and then we will write the main method. Main, and then we have to give this first bracket and second bracket. Within second braces, in this braces, all the programs should be here. Then we have declared the integer int a, which is a type of integer. We haven't declared it at the flowchart, that is okay. Then we are using a for loop. There are actually two type of loop. There is a for loop. There are two type of loops. So whatever loop you prefer, you can use it unless this is not mentioned that what type of loop you have to use. In the question they haven't mentioned it, so you can use any type of. So for loop is the most easiest one. In for loop you can see this flowchart work in the same loop. First the integer value, then the condition. Second portion is for the condition, and third is for the increment part. Okay, then after this for loop has been started, the result will be printed. Printf means the output line where A is printed, the value of A. Since it has been asked that which day of the month that person is actually attending this, we have to print those days, the number of those days. That is why this number will be printed here on this line. So for loop have just three things. Number one, declaration, which is integer type A, the value declaration. Then comes the condition in the middle, and then comes increment. These three things are the main thing for any kind of for loop. Okay, so this is actually a demonstration of a programming. I promised to have a very short class. That is why today actually I want to end it here. Next class I will be, if I got an opportunity to discuss, I will be discussing something else. Thank you very much for today. And if you face any kind of problem, please go through the previous year's question. Always the questions are there on the last of your book. Whatever book you are following, doesn't matter. The last of the your book, you can find that board questions are always there after the chapter. So just look, just go through the board question, and when you will stuck in somewhere, you face a problem there, please tell me that in which particular program problem you're facing. If you're stuck in something, then I'll be discussing that particular question, because if I start going line by line, so this will be little complicated, because we have already finished this chapter in class, and now since loop is actually the main thing, the for loops and to do loops, while loops, these loops are the main thing. That is why I have discussed the loops and how we will just write those loop into a program. So for one program, one loop program I showed you today. Next day maybe I'm going to show something else. Thank you very much, though this was not my scheduled class, since you told me that you have problem regarding the for loop, so that is why I have solved this problem for now. And if is there any confusion and anything you don't understand, please tell me, or you can also knock me through the through your group, or you can also knock me on the messenger, and that is okay as well. I will help you as much as I can. Okay, thank you very much. I'm ending it here.